So you want to know how to use Dark like a 30 mil? Well, then you've clicked on the right video, because not only will I show you guys how to use every move on Dark, but I will teach you guys 3 combos as a fruit, sword, and even gun main. With that being said, sit back, relax, and let's get right into it. Alrighty, let's begin with the Z move of Dark. The Z move is a decent combo extender that I believe most people underestimate for how good it really is. It's best used for combo extending off of the X, C, and V moves of Dark. Next up, we have the X move. Just like the Z move, it goes really well with the other moves in its kit, and it is one of the best combo starters and extenders Dark can offer. It's also a fantastic move to use in the air. However, the X move is highly Kentrickable, so if you want to overcome that weakness, use something like Cyborg V3. Now we have the C move. The C move is great for stunts and combo extending just like the X move, but there is one noticeable difference, and that would be how you can use this move better with Sorrow and the F move on Dark. You can also use it in the air, and it's a fantastic way to counter annoying air campers. And of course, don't forget that this move is also highly Kentrickable, so do keep that in mind. Next up, we have Dark V. This is one of the coolest moves on Dark as it pulls in people and then blasts them away in a certain direction. It's a great combo starter that goes really well with every move in its kit. Just be careful not to miss it because it is easily punishable since you stand still for a bit after using it. Lastly, we have Dark F. This is probably the most versatile move Dark has to offer, as it can also be used with Dark X, C, and V. It's a great move for closing the distance between you and your opponent, and it is a great option for continuing combos like this. Okay, really quickly, I want to briefly cover whether or not you should use any of the Unawakened moves on Dark. Now for me personally, I don't believe any of the Unawakened moves are worth using over the Awakened moves, so if you don't have Dark fully awakened, try to do that as soon as possible. Alright, now let's cover which swords, guns, and fighting styles work best with Dark. Now, for swords, you can pretty much use any sword you want, but I like to use Spiky Trident and Soul Cane the most. Now those are just my personal favorite swords to use, but these swords also work just as well. Now for some guns, Dark has some pretty good options as well. I'd personally use either a Sitem Rifle or Serpent Bow, as Dark's moveset really goes well with either of these. You could also try something like Soul Guitar, as I think that would also go great with Dark's moveset. Alright, now for fighting styles, I would personally use God Human, Sharkman Karate, Dragon Talon, or Sanguine Art, as these fighting styles work very well with Dark's moveset. And I might as well throw it in there, here are some honorable mentions. Alright, we're finally at the Dark combos, so let's start it off with this pretty cool Dark combo. Now, of course, as you probably know, there are more fruit main combos with Dark, but we're just gonna move on for time's sake. So here are some pretty fun and overpowered gun combos. And of course, we can't forget the sword combo. Like I've already previously stated, there are way more combos than this, but these are just some of my personal favorite combos, so hopefully you guys do enjoy them. And, gotta add on to that, make sure you use Cyborg V3 because if you don't, you're not gonna have a fun time with Dark. I'm gonna tell you that much. Now, choosing the right accessory is crucial for winning fights, so here are some of the accessories I would use for Dark. If you want speed plus good offense, I would choose Hunter's Cape as it makes you harder to hit while still doing good damage. Now, if you want something that is good for offense and defense, I'd pick Swan Glasses as it makes you have more HP and more resistance to attacks, while also decreasing the cooldown of all of your moves. Okay, now I have something very important to show you guys. I'm going to be showing you guys some secrets, some special tips, whatever you want to call it, that every 30 million uses. So let me show you guys exactly what I mean. Alright, so depending on which fruit or user you're up against, you should choose whether or not you fight more in the air or on the ground. For example, if you're up against someone using the ice fruit, it wouldn't be very smart of you to fight them near the ground. So you should instead fight them in the air, just like this. Now let's say you're up against a Venom user. In this instance, it would be more wise to try to fight them on the ground because, at least in my opinion, Venom is much better when used in the air. So hopefully you guys understand those two examples. But again, I want you to remember that I'm not saying you can't fight a Venom user in the air or an ice user on the ground. I'm simply saying that it would just be more beneficial for you to not play into their strengths. I know that I've already mentioned how every move on Dark basically goes together. But I do want to remind you all that whenever you hit the X, C, or V move of Dark, you should try your absolute hardest to keep the combo alive by continuously hitting more and more stun moves on your opponent since Dark excels at combo extending. Now that previous tip was quite simple, but this tip right here, guys, this is the tip you're going to need when mastering Dark. Alright, let's discuss how to use Soul Guitar with Dark. So, Soul Guitar would most definitely be the best gun to use with Dark, considering the Z and X move of Soul Guitar are amazing combo starters. Now let me show you guys two ways of combining both of them. So with the Z move, you can directly use Dark F or Soru to get close to someone, then hit them with either Dark X or C, and it would look just like this. Now you may have thought the Z move was OP, but just wait until I show you what you can do with the X move. So after using Soul Guitar X, you want to either use Dark X, C, or V. Now the overpowered thing about this is that you're constantly hitting your opponent with the Soul Guitar X, thus making your Dark moves unkentrickable because your Soul Guitar is just constantly hitting them, which is going to annoy the heck out of them. Now hopefully you all see why Soul Guitar and Dark are just insane together as a duo. So I wasn't originally going to add this tip, but I thought about it last second, and I just want to briefly cover it, and that is that getting mastery on Dark is very important if you want to do extra bits of damage. So what I'm implying here is get 600 mastery if possible. But if 600 is too much for you, I think 400 to maybe 500 is good enough, but, the more mastery you have, the more damage you do, and the more damage you do, well, the better you'll do with Dark. Alrighty, so now that you all know how to use Dark like a 30 million, you should all click on this video to learn about the best fruit in the game, which is ice. And yes, I did just say ice is the best fruit in the game. With that being said, I'll see you there.